What's up, everybody? I'm here at RetroCon with SHREK and Fiona. Hey, everybody, Joe here with another episode of 360 Comics. As you can see, over the weekend, I attended RetroCon in the Philadelphia area. This is mainly a toy convention, but I figured there would probably be some comic books there and possibly even some really good deals. And guess what? I was right. Stay tuned to see what I got. Congratulations to Wires68 and the Jericho1123 for winning the last 2 weekly giveaways. Please message me on Instagram if you haven't yet so I can get you your prize. And I would like to announce this week's weekly giveaway right here, The Incredible Hulk number 418, the first appearance of Talos, who will be coming back to the MCU in Secret Invasion. Great time to grab this book. All you have to do, subscribe to the channel, like and comment on this video, and then like and comment on our videos from Wednesday of this week and Friday of this week for additional entries. I'll be picking a winner live on Instagram Sunday evening. Good luck. I had never been to RetroCon before, but I decided, why not? Let's try it out and see if I can find some comics. There were tons of people in cosplay, which was really cool, including Wanda Maximoff, who greeted me at the door as I was coming in. And as you can see, this place was packed to the brim with collectors looking for toys. And there were toys of all different types. There was some stuff from the 2000s. There was more retro stuff from the 90s, 80s, 70s, and even 1960s and before. This is not really my type of thing to collect, but this was definitely a toy enthusiast paradise. They even had this free-to-play arcade, which I wish I had time to sit around and play for a little bit, but I was in a rush this day. But there were always people there. Just like Artist Alley at different comic book conventions, there were tons of celebrity appearances, mostly voice actors from nostalgic cartoons. And speaking of nostalgia, we got a Back to the Future car, the DeLorean here, accompanied by one of the actors from the movie. They had a couple other cars, including this Monkey Mobile and a Dragula, which, hey, I guess that is what Rob Zombie has been singing about all those years. This one corner of the room was dedicated to G.I. Joe, specifically Cobra, and had this really cool Cobra throne that you could take a picture in. Unfortunately, I had no one there to take my picture, so I moved on to looking for some comic books. That's the reason I was there. These are the first ones that I came across. Unfortunately, as you can see, it looked pretty pick dry of any keys or desired books. This kind of looked like the dregs of a Bronze and Silver Age collection. Not a lot of the big titles. A lot of the books were in really bad shape, and certainly there were no major keys. So I moved on to the dollar bins over here, hoping to find a little bit more luck in these, and I found a couple things. First appearance in continuity of Firestar, and right behind it, you saw me jump when I saw it, first appearance of Forge, a book that I've been talking about for a while. This next dealer had a nice run of Marvel Tales, starting all the way back at issue number 2, going up into the double digits here, but unfortunately these were overpriced like crazy. I'm talking double, triple what they're going for on eBay, so I did not get any. But these are really great because they reprint multiple, usually 3 or 4 stories from the Silver Age and have all of that Silver Age art. And check this one out. Ugh, John Romita's first Amazing Spider-Man cover there. That is awesome. I ended up buying some stuff from this next dealer. He had this box of keys as well as a box of $2 books. And you can see in just a second, I'll speed up flipping through because I noticed there was some Mylar sticking out, and that often means older or more expensive books. And I was right. There was some Silver Age Captain America, and hiding behind that 101, Captain America number 100. As it turned out, my suspicions were correct, and there were plenty of comic books in the room despite this being primarily a toy show. And even more so, there were plenty of great deals to be found. Just had to do a little bit of digging and some negotiating. First up in the haul, we've got the Dollar Bin books. Of course, you saw this one before, first appearance of Forge, and it was right next to this first appearance of Firestar. Neither of them are high grade by any means, but still, for a buck, I'm definitely going to pick these books up all day. The only other Dollar Bin book that I got during the day was this right here, Justice League Europe number 33. This has a pullout in the center that is a preview of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it is his first appearance in a mainstream comic book. Up next, I paid $5 for this right here. Johnny the Homicidal Maniac #1, the third printing, and it's very high grade. Now, in my personal collection, I have a first printing that is mid-grade, and I have like a high-grade 7th printing. So this is probably going to replace the high-grade 7th printing that I have. Going to keep my first printing and look for a nicer copy of that. But for $5, I wasn't going to pass up this book right here. Moving on, the next dealer, I ended up kind of bundling some stuff together. Basically, what happened was I grabbed some books from his dollar bins. There were 1, 2, and this one is signed by Kevin Smith, and 3 right here. This one is signed by Chuck Dixon. And I was just going to buy these 3, but then he had some older books laying out, and those 2 older books were Detective Comics number 270, not a key, but still a really solid early Silver Age Batman issue. And the cover's detached, but other than that, it is pretty solid. There aren't like chips or anything, off of it. A pretty nice looking book. And right next to that was also this right here. This is the Flash number 117, the first appearance of Captain Boomerang. So I looked at the prices on these two. They were asking $75 on this and $40 on this. So that comes out to $115, and I was not going to pay that much for those 2 books. So I was kind of asking them like, hey, can I look at these? I took them out and I looked at them. This one is, on the lower side of mid-grade. This one obviously had the cover detached, and he was like, if you want to make an offer, you can. And I was like, my offer would be pretty low. So I told him, I was like, honestly, if you gave me these 2 books and the $3 bin books that I got, I'll give you $50. Like, that's really all I wanted to do. Cover detached, not really a character that I collect personally here, but I know this is a nice key. And he actually responded pretty favorably and was like, all right, you know what? If you can do $60, if you come up just a little bit, you got it. So, they had this marked at 75. I paid 60 for this, and essentially got this book for free and those $3 bin books for free. So that was a very surprising negotiation that really it wasn't very much negotiation. I made an offer. He came back with $10 more, and I gave it the thumbs up. This book alone has a fair market value of $100 to $125, depending on exactly where the condition is. I'll have to look at it a little bit closer before I price it up, but that one is going to be for sale because that is not a character that I collect. Moving on, the next guy had a bunch of $2 bins, and then also some bigger books. This was the guy who had the Captain America number 100. What happened was I pulled out some of the $2 books. I took them up with the Captain America book. I tried to do some negotiation, and you'll see at the end what ended up happening. We got Green Lantern number 1 from the New 52 run. We've got Justice League number 21. This is a minor key. I think is this a cameo of Jessica Cruz? I forget exactly, but awesome cover nonetheless. Shazam and Black Adam. We got Power Girl number 1, really popular cover here. Really, really cool one. Almost cartoony looking, but I like it. I definitely like the cover. Then we got Fantastic Four number 546, and this is the Michael Turner sketch variant from Wizard World. Obviously, Wizard World doesn't exist anymore. Michael Turner has unfortunately passed away, so this is kind of a collectible in and of itself of 2 things that aren't really here for us anymore. So I actually looked on eBay. This book goes for about $15, so I was happy to grab it for 2. But again, I bundled stuff together and actually got a really good deal. Justice League number 1, I found this a couple times recently for really cheap. Awesome Jim Lee cover. And Green Lantern number 39, first appearance of Larfleeze. Now, he had all these. I brought these up, tried to negotiate down with the Captain America book. He really wasn't budging on the price. He wanted $200 for that. And I tried to make a deal. I tried to get it for about $150, but he was not going down that low. So I ended up seeing this as well on his table. This is a Star Wars #1, and it is rather high grade, except for, you might not even be able to see it on the screen. There is a little nick out of the cover right at the top, and then right on the T, there is something sticky there. I am very, very sure that I can get this sticky stuff off pretty easily without damaging the book. Obviously, this nick, I can't really do anything about that, but this book is really, really nice other than those two things. Probably without that nick at the top, this book would certainly be a 9.0 plus, but I think even with the nick, I think it's probably an 8.5 plus. So I am definitely going to be cleaning this one up and getting it graded. He had this marked at $125, which I thought was a pretty good deal already. But since he wasn't able to move on the Captain America book, I kind of said, you know what? I'm thinking I want the Star Wars book. Maybe we could do the Star Wars book and the 6 $2 bin books for $100 altogether. So basically, get $25 off of this and get all of those books for free. And he immediately said yes. I was pretty surprised there wasn't any back and forth on that one. He took that deal. I did swing around later and offer $150 again on the Captain America at $100, and he said no. But, you can't win them all. This was certainly a great score, and I got to see. I have another Star Wars one that I want to get graded. They are both kind of in that 8.5 plus range, so I'm going to probably send them both in. And when I get them back, choose which one I would like to keep for myself. Now, the very last book, you saw it in the beginning. That is this right here, Captain America. This is not Captain America. This is Detective Comics number 880. It is a Scott Snyder story, and it is one of the most amazing Joker covers of all time by one of my favorite artists of all time, Jock. It's a 9.8. White pages. And as far as modern books go, especially modern books that aren't keys, aren't ratio variants, aren't exclusives, aren't rare recalled books, this is one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive. I actually probably should do some research on that. I can't think of a book that isn't a ratio variant or something rare that was printed in the 2000s that's also not a key that is worth more than this. The guy had it marked at $500, and a quick check saw that they were selling between $600 and $650 as of the last couple months. So he already had it under fair market value. And when I was looking through things, he had mentioned, hey, make an offer on any of these. If you want them, I'm looking to sell some stuff. So I offered him $400. I thought $500, maybe he'll go down as low as $400, and if not, maybe we can meet in the middle. We ended up meeting at $420 after a little bit of negotiation, and I I definitely think that was a great price. They're selling between $600 and $650, so let's take an average of $625, and got this one for $200 off essentially. That is phenomenal, and now I'm stuck because I'm not sure if I should sell this because it's a nice profit that I can make, or if I should keep this for my personal collection. This is a book that I would like in my personal collection, but also gotta pay the bills. I've got some things some expenses that have come up recently. I'm looking to get a new car, so I'm deciding on whether I need to sell this book or whether I should hold on to it for the personal collection. So you can leave your opinion on it in the comments down below. Either way, really happy to have it, at least for some amount of time. We'll see if I end up pulling the trigger on a sale or if I file it away in my slab box. But either way, awesome haul from RetroCon. Definitely would go back again. I only spent a short amount of time there because toys really aren't my thing. So I was able to kind of zip in, find all the comic books, take a look real quick. And a lot of other people were distracted with the toys. Even the comic book collectors that were there, I assume that a lot of them were looking at the toys and stuff because that they might, collect both. I think I was able to find some really nice deals because it's not a comic book show. So totally worth the trip, totally worth I forget, entry was like $20 or something like that. The Star Wars book alone, I'm definitely doing pretty well on if I get that thing cleaned up, and same thing with this book right here. Anyway, that's it for this video. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe and turn notifications on and follow on Instagram and all that other stuff. Stay tuned for more content on all social media platforms, and until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.